FutureLearn and Royal Holloway University presents Meet some audio description users.
Hi, I'm Rian Patel. I'm British Asian, been living here born here in London, 29 years old, and a business owner.
Hi, I'm Kinari Patel. I'm a 28-year-old accountant. I am African, Indian, British, quite multicultural, come from different heritages.
I'm Sam. I'm a white Irish man with a shaved head, a bit of ginger beard. I'm 6'1". I trained as an actor.
I'm Lisa Redford. I am white British. I've got a very long blonde, naturally dark, going grey, blonde highlighted hair. And I work for a sight loss charity nowadays.
Hi, I'm Andy Nan. I'm a white British male and I am an engineer, and Lisa is my girlfriend.
The show was hilarious. I couldn't think of anything that could cheer me up on a weekend. It was very fun, very enjoyment was there, and I could do it again in a heartbeat. Lovely.
I fell in love with it. It was really, really good. So the touch tour was an amazing start because it kind of helped you build your imagination up of what it would be like on stage. And then the minute you walk in with the music going, the band playing, the little intro of the description of what the outfits were like on stage, you kind of felt like you were in the middle of this kind of magical forest. And just absolutely loved it. With like nudges here and there with the audio description kind of helping you take that imagination to the next level of what it was like to be actually on stage. So amazing experience being back at the theatre post-COVID.
I really enjoyed the audio description. For me was it was good. I think it was one of those things where, because I was enjoying the live music as well as seeing a show, it was so many things that I hadn't been to in so long. Sometimes it got garbled out a little bit, but it was always really, really useful just in terms of I thought it was really clear, really succinct when I could hear it. Again, the one thing I always find really annoying about audio description is just the comfortability of the earphones in my ears. I'm always finding myself rearranging them as a thing. I found the touch tour really useful, especially just the color schemes and the vibes of what was being worn. They were talking about that sort of New Orleans carnival sort of vibe. Just it actually felt like a really warm space. So the sensation of knowing what was going on made me feel warm as an audience member.
Well, the touch tour is my favourite. I enjoy touch tours. I like to feel the props, go on the stage, get an idea of the sets. I find that's very, very helpful, the most helpful thing, I think. The audio description is absolutely great, and I think I do go to the theatre when things are not audio described, but I do prefer audio described because if you're with a sighted person, they can enjoy the play and he doesn't have to keep telling me what happens all the time. He can sit and enjoy it himself, which is nice for me and nice for him.
Yeah, I've never seen Midsummer Night's Dream before. I enjoyed the whole thing. I like the audience participation sort of thing, a little bit less formal. I do like that kind of atmosphere.
I found that, knowing the ethnicity of an actor, it just helped me build a better picture of the actor and then the character itself. I think what happened is within a touch tour, we got the chance to meet a few of the actors beforehand, and the way they introduced themselves and the way they described themselves, it was really useful because I think it's some things that sighted people just take for advantage or granted that you can kind of just have a look around the room, kind of make not a judgment, but you can understand what kind of a group of people you're with, how diverse the team is or the cast can be. And it's just something I feel that we are at a disadvantage being visually impaired, but having that description just gives you a better you feel like it's a more level playing field.
I think people are people. It doesn't matter what colour their skin is, what their orientation is. what their gender is. It matters how good they are at their job. What I didn't like, if I'm honest, when Jamie introduced himself, when we were on the touch tour, he didn't need to tell me he was a white male. Jamie is Jamie. It didn't make any difference to me. He's the manager. You know, it wasn't part of the show. I thought, why do I need to know that? He's just Jamie, and he's just a very nice person.
So, Lisa, I don't mean to like I respect your opinion, and I totally understand a person as a person. It's not a judgment piece, but it's like, for me and for you, it's knowing that if someone walks into a room, right? So, say Andy, when he walks into a room, he's able to tell that, you know, there is a diverse group of people. So there are Caucasians, there are Asians, there are African Americans, or, you know, black people, whatever you want to name them as. But like, it's a diverse group, right? So do you feel like when you walk into a room, like not knowing what kind of a group you're walking in is putting you at a disadvantage? Because sometimes I feel that way.
Not really. People are people. I really don't think it matters. It doesn't matter what colour somebody is to me.
Could I just offer like a thought experiment with that thing? Is that the whole thing of like, oh, we don't need to know what somebody's ethnicity is, or we don't need to know what their gender is. It's sort of like the idea, if you imagine a room and I say, imagine a bunch of people in this room.
Yeah.
And it's immediately like, because of the way society has like brought things up or values things, you're going to imagine more people of a certain ethnicity than others, because of like we pretty much live in a pretty like white UK dominated world, and it's sort of like that's why it's important to highlight this, especially in representation. If you're seeing those things on stage, I think, because you want to see those different things reflected for communities. Like I'm a blind white person. My experiences are very different from a blind black person. There's still the similarities that cross over, but I imagine a blind black person would want to know that there are black people playing characters on that stage that you would normally associate with just like white people playing those characters. And I think that's really, really important that audio descriptions puts that in for like that kind of representation and encouragement for those audience members, so that they, if let's say they want to go into theatre, they can be like, you know what, I can do that as well.
I totally agree, because I'm a blind Asian woman, right? So for me, knowing that there are people from my community up on stage as well, like identifying that just is like, wow, okay, there are people who are doing this now.
Yeah, I think on stage, for the description, you know, of what actors, yes, I agree with you there. I just don't think for me it's not necessary on a day-to-day basis in just ordinary environments. But for the stage, yes, it was very helpful. I'd like to hear that there are more blind actors on stages.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
I agree.
That is a very good point, actually.
How would you feel if a blind actor was always playing blind roles?
Sad.
Very sad.
Yes.
Very, very sad, because we are so much more than that.
Yes.
And so if that's what society labels us as doing, that's just, there needs to be more conversation around that, and there needs to be a change in perspective and in just opportunities.
So it's also a case where most of the characters who are written by, most of the disabled characters are written by non-disabled people, and it comes with a lot of character traits or personality things. Like, you know, blind people, it's always like the old oracle, or there are tons of other tropes that exist. That is the most irritating thing about like disabled portrayals, in my opinion, is like it is always a particular trope. It is always a cliche, and it's, you know, stuff like Shakespeare. You can do whatever the hell you want with stuff like that. Like, there's no rights to it anyway anymore. Like, so just recast all of it with disabled actors doing a bunch of different things.
So my hopes for the future is more of these kind of events. Like, I loved this experience. These kind of shows, or described shows, aren't on often, and the places do get packed, like taken really quickly. So I think having more of these and having more options to go to as well in the future is something that we really do need to work towards.
My hopes for the future are more audio described performances in theatre. Yeah, definitely more frequent audio description, and more audio description on television and on DVDs.
My hopes for the future, I guess, are the same as everybody's, you know, more audio description, but I think also more understanding of what audio description is from sighted people, just so it's more clarity, and also there's more, I guess, collaboration between, like, let's say in a theatre context, between like the people in the rehearsal space, like the actors, the directors, and the audio describers, so they have like a better communication between them rather than being like two separate entities.
Royal Holloway University, supported by the Arts and Humanities Research Council and Vocalise.